Dorothy. The cat is up here. So I'm just going to leave her until these guys get out of here. You done? All right. Well, we'll see you.
Tomorrow morning we got a sheetrock.
Cool.
So
All right.
I got her getting samples and looking for an exhaust heat fan. So
Okay, cool.
awesome. Bye.
I vote for you guys. Go have fun, whatever you do.
Yeah. I gotta go install a dishwasher.
Yay, you. See you later. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Galena. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Elaine. The rat's not here right now, but the cat is here, which is surprising because those guys have been here this morning. And so I'm actually, I don't want to say I'm drugging the cat because I'm not really drugging the cat, but my vet has given me, it's called Composure. And it's natural. And look at her. She loves these stupid things. Do you like your Composures? You like those, don't you? Look at you. Yum. No, you have to wait till morning. I'll give you another one tonight and one in the morning. But if you have free cats, this stuff really works. I was a little skeptical and I was worried about giving her, you know, like anything real tranquilizing because she's so old. And Jan said, try this. And honestly, I started it last night and look at her. She likes them. Because she said, well, you might have to put it in tuna or something. But as soon as I look at her, she's going like, give me one. Yeah, she gobbled it right up and it has made a difference. I'm thinking about keeping her on it ever. Like, this is as good as this cat ever gets. What do you want? You need to skedaddle. They're gone now. They're not coming back. Sorry, you guys. Come on. Can you move? That's a good girl. Yeah, they're not coming. Well, don't scratch me now, you little shit. I've been talking good about you. Yeah, she just decided it was time to reach out and grab me, I guess. Ugh, this cat. But I was really, you know, the first day she vomited. She was just so stressed out. Yeah, so this stuff has really helped. It's made my life better. Yeah, give her hugs. She's a good girl. She's just standing right. So, but she likes to be, if I start drawing while she's up here, yeah, she will be on my stuff. She'll lay right on top of it. That's it. Yeah, look at her. I wonder if she would like the brush like Dee Dee's cat likes the brush. Let me try real quick. Do you like the brush like Dee Dee's cat likes the brush? Don't give me a treat and I will scratch you every 5 minutes. Yeah, really. Do you like that like Dee Dee's cats do? No, of no interest to you. But the pens and the pencils, OMG, yes. So anyway, yeah, so we won't be having any noise today. The guys have finished for the day. They've got something up there that they've glued and they have to let it dry. So hi, Vicki. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Kimberly. Anybody else that I missed? So, yep, they're out of here. And the mailman has not come yet. So, yeah, I don't have Xandra's stuff yet. But if he comes, we will definitely be getting it. You missed the cat, Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. I love those books so much, Dee Dee. Oh my gosh, I want those books so bad. But I haven't ordered them. I don't know. There's the cat. The cat may be a pest because she's just all mellowed out. And I think she's comfortable. Okay, good. I think she's gone. Bye. See you, Roxy. Yay. Hi, Josie. So anyway, what else was I going to tell you guys? We went to Tulsa yesterday and met up with Robert's son and daughter-in-law. You've heard me talk about Kelly. She sometimes comes to the shows. Look at what she got me. a little solar powered monkey that's head dances in the sun. It's really cute. But I put it aside this morning because every time its head moves, it goes click, 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 click. So yeah, I had to put it aside for today. And I don't know if Azure is going to be here, but I told Azure I would show her the cartoon. She's thinking about cartoons for Inktober. And you know what? I've been thinking too. I might just go ahead and finish my list before I start drawing candy. I don't know. Hi, CB. Hi, Mindy. So anyway, what have I done since you guys were here last? Not a whole lot. I did work on this drawing a little bit more. I shaded it, and so it's looking good. I'm not done yet. I still got to finish his head and the lettering here and there. But hi, Norma. But I did work on it a little bit, and I'm going to, the lighting isn't really too bad today, is it? But it helps if I have some light when I draw. So I may go ahead. No, didn't make any difference, I don't think. Yeah, I'm going to leave it up so I can watch for Mr. Mailman. So hi, Zoe. And Linda, I hope I said hi to you. So anyway, today we're going to do, Galena's really been working hard at this drawing, you guys. Oh, and what else did I did? I did do something else. Oh, this is what I did the other day. I'm going to have you guys draw this knitting out of the book. And so I was just playing the other day, trying to figure out the best way to have you guys approach it so that you'll have success. So I worked on that, and then I just worked on little baby features. So that's really pretty much all I've done. But I did get my room cleaned up a little bit. So, and I don't know why I went to the back of the book to do that. I just opened it and started drawing. Thanks, Josie. So this is what we did the other day. We worked on circles. We learned how to draw that little guy, how to do a water drop, Mr. Fuzzball, the monkey, and Mr. Potato Head. So that's pretty much where we're at. You have been, Galena. And so yeah, she had asked if we would work on some basic shapes today, which I think is really kind of the cornerstone of drawing. I mean, if you can get the basic shapes down and train your brain to see, I'm not sure that there's anything that you couldn't figure out how to draw. He's a pineapple, not a potato. Okay, that was a pineapple, sorry. So I hope Oopsies box gets here. So today I think I'll just go over some real basic shapes. I'm going through the book here to see. Those are going to be last. So let me see if they're in this one. Okay, here we go. Galena said she wanted to see just some real basic shapes, and this may be real basic for a lot of you, but this is out of Drawing for Dummies. It's the same author who does the Complete Idiot's Guide to Drawing People. It's the same girl, and there's a lot of duplicate information in them, but it doesn't hurt you to read it twice, so just read it twice. So in here, she's got a chapter on just basic geometric shapes. So I figured we could do some of those. And then if there's anything you guys want to learn about, just say so. We'll either find a resource or, yeah. You need Drawing People for Idiots. Hi, Star. It's a good book. It really is. I mean, it's real basic, and I just love her drawing. She does draw this person from baby all the way through, and she talks about how facial proportions change, and I just got unbelievable amounts of good information out of here. And she's got great exercises so you can, progress and feel like you're really, really accomplishing something. So thanks, Dee Dee. So we'll just jump in with some shapes. And I got a couple other resources out here. They're all basically the same. Because really shading is shading. It's just getting your brain to see things differently and see where the light is coming from and where the shadow would be because of that. So that was Brenda's take on it. Another author that I really like is Lee Hammond. This is Lifelike Drawing with Lee Hammond. And it's all lights. She does some great color work as well. She does a lot of her sketching that she has you do the exercises with, she does with a graph. I think if you're beginning drawing with a graph is great. I draw with a graph. All my cartoons that I did with a graph. Hi, Teresa. So yeah, this is another book that I just love all of her books. So I think most of them are all available on Amazon. I buy them wherever I can get them cheap. But she gives you the basic, okay, this is, I never pick up a book that I don't have some drawing in there. So I had started working on this one. I haven't finished it yet, but here's my version of that drawing. So I'll work on it someday, or I won't, and it won't matter either way. And she does a lot of these where you draw the shapes in the boxes. That is another really fun thing to do. Hubby is going to be mad, but I just bought Drawing for Dummies, $6 brand new. Hubby, you'll have to get over that. $6, that's a great price. So don't feel bad. You're entitled to do that. Your husband, I want to come in there and kick your husband's ass. Sorry. Okay, and here's practice blending for just the geometric shapes. So I think this is the one we're going to go ahead and work out of. But every basic drawing book has the same thing. So let's just jump in. What do you want to do first? You want to do a cylinder first? And I am a firm believer in if you have a template, use a template. I'm not sure. I mean, I think drawing circles is good for warm up and stuff like that. But chances are you're never going to be able to draw a perfect circle. So don't reinvent the wheel. Use your templates, use what you've got. So therefore, in my opinion, use a ruler. If you want a straight line, use a damn ruler. Okay? All right, we're going to start with a cylinder first. And a cylinder would be much like how you would shade an arm. Anything long and thin and round, hello, that it's a cylinder. What, Norma? Hi, Marie. Oh my God, a ruler. I got to take a nap. I'm not getting out a ruler yet, Eileen. All right, I'm just going to draw this big so I'm sure you guys can see it. The cat's back. There's a lot of shadow on this table, isn't there? Oh, that put me in the dark. But I'm wondering if you guys will see better. Let's try that. Okay, so to draw a cylinder, start with an ellipse at the top. You might have to go over it a few times until you're comfortable with it. I have an ellipse template. I could use that. But I'll just do my best to draw what I consider to be a decent ellipse. I like that one, okay. You absolutely need an eraser, so get yourself an eraser. And if it's a little wonky, nobody's going to care because we're mostly doing shading practice. But if I was going to do this where I wanted a perfect cylinder, I promise you I would get out my templates. I really would. That's not exactly what I want anyway. So I'm going to come back and get this one more like All right, that I think is a little bit better. Eileen, close your eyes. There you go. Hi, Jean. You ran down to the mailbox? I wish I could run to the mailbox and get my box right now. Okay, and when you're drawing a cylinder like this, the curve of the bottom line is going to be the same curve as the top line. So just use your best judgment to get about the same curve. And already, it's looking three-dimensional, right? Hi, Whippy. Haven't seen you in a while. And because this is just sketching, it's fine. But if I was doing this in something that I was going to publish, and I promise you, the authors do this, they use other tools to make sure that their drawings are absolutely accurate. Okay, so we got a cool cylinder. We're going to go ahead and assume that the light is hitting this straight on, right? Right down the center. From the front, too. So where you start shading, and I'm going to go ahead and use a, this is just a number 2 pencil, and I am going to use a Tortillon to move the graphite. You don't have to. I just think it's easier. You could do hashtags, cross-hatching as well. And I showed a little bit of that the other day. I use cross-hatching most if I'm drawing in ink, if I'm using ballpoint or something like that, because you can't get lighter pressure with a pen. So I'll use cross-hatch shading when I do that. But if you want it real smooth, use a Tortillon or little circles. You watch me, but you missed the live stream. Well, I'm glad you got to a live stream today. Hi, Joan. I loved all your stencils, Joan. I haven't ordered because I haven't used the ones I have. Okay, now I'm going to start lightening it up. I try and keep it as smooth as I can. I'll start lightening it a little bit. If you have drawing pencils, which I do, I just don't get them out very often. You could switch to a harder lead at this point to get, you know, a lighter shade. I just do it this way. Now, if I wanted to make a rule or a straight line, you told hubby to grab Tortillons and he got pasta. I'm not even going to say anything about that. That's just funny. Just funny. All right, in just a second, I'll take the Tortillon. I'm trying to think. Dee Dee, can you think of anything that if you're going to shade with a Tortillon, what could you use in its place if you don't have an actual one? Dorothy said the other day, I think that she uses her little finger. I don't do that because I don't want the oils from my hand on it. I'm darkening up this edge a little bit, and you might do that as you go. Yeah, I can't think of anything you could really use in place of a Tortillon. I really can't. And I probably have enough graphite on here right now that I can probably start blending. But you could take all the time in the world and get this Q-tips. Yeah, maybe use a right beer on that, and I will like it a lot better. You're doing a beer can. All right, we're going to do the sides first. If you want to give this appearance of roundness, which you do, shade in a circular kind of motion. I'm going to shade the edge first. I'll clean up the edges last, so don't worry about if your edges get goofed up. Don't even worry about that. So this is the kind of shading you would use, for example, an arm, a torso, anything long and thin and round. And I'll show you in the Beast how you can do it, how you can kind of trick your brain. So simply, you won't believe it. I'm doing this quick too. Always leave it darkest out on this edge. You were helping hubby get in the ambulance? Oh my gosh, Monique, I hope he's okay. Now I'm worried. Tell me he's okay. Okay, and when you're working with graphite, like right now, I'm really, really sensitive that my hand is getting in that. So hi Kathy, wear either a glove or grab a piece of junk paper. I'm gonna grab one out of here because that's one of my OCD things. I have to have my hand on the paper so I don't start smudging it up. That's a weird thing. That is an OCD thing for sure. I'm going to turn this to make it easier for myself. So what could I tell you guys? We had fun yesterday going to Tulsa and meeting with Eddie and Kelly and having lunch with them. I've never eaten at a McAllister's Deli, and I love that. I'll eat there again for sure. Their stuffed potatoes are delicious. Now I'm really going to lighten it up to show where where the light is hitting it directly. And if you get it too dark, just keep your kneaded eraser on hand. You can always pick up graphite later. And until you kind of get a feel for it, you might have to do a lot of that, and that's fine. Doesn't hurt nothing. I have not gotten my new glasses, Dee Dee. We're going, I have to look that up. What's the date today? 17, 18, 19. I think it's Wednesday we go for Robert's doctor's appointment. The glasses are in. We could have gone and gotten them, but we were going to Tulsa, so we didn't plan a trip to Joplin, and now we're going Wednesday. So, and I am going to Tuesday morning to see if they have some of those sarcastic, rude stamps. And oh my gosh, you guys, if it's not one thing in my life, it's another. I swear to God. Um, I don't know what made me, well, because we've had to turn the water off and on for these construction guys. One day, Robert wasn't here, and I knew where my original water shutoff was, but Robert has altered my water system, right? Because I'm on a well. So I told him, you need to show me where the water shut off and all this stuff is, and how to add salt to the water softener and blah, 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 blah. It was just like, if Robert wasn't here, could I do what I need to do to maintain this flippin' household, right? So we went out to the well house and he was going to show me all this. And the first time we went out there, I'd seen the wasp nest. But then he said, oh, I forgot to show you something. Come back. And I saw the wasps kind of swarming. And I said, oh, Robert, there's wasps. And I was going to go get the wasp spray. But before I could go get the wasp spray, one of them got him on his ear. Okay, Teresa, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Did he scissor hand your house? I wouldn't put it past him, but no, in this case, what happened was a wasp came and stung him on the ear. Well, he went, natural reflex, went up to brush it off. His glasses went flying, and we're not sure, but I think his hearing aid went flying. So I spent hours and hours and hours Saturday looking for that hearing aid out in the grass. We have not been able to find it. I literally almost thought I'm allergic to Whippy. That's why I was so scared, is because, that's like trip to the hospital for me. But when when all the dust settled, it was like, where's your hearing aid? Like, and we looked and we looked and we took lights out later on in the evening to see if maybe, we could see it better with different lighting and everything. We've not found the damn hearing aid. That's what I think, Dee Dee. Why don't they have a Bluetooth tracker on that damn hearing aid? Well, fortunately, Monique, I had bought the insurance because I live with Robert Vaughn and I know what a spaz he is. So I bought the insurance. We have insurance on it, but it's still going to cost $200. Now the wasp can hear you coming. That's funny, Josie. I'm going to tell that to Robert. Yeah, now the wasp will know we're coming. So anyway, it was just like, oh my gosh, if anything else could possibly go wrong, what the hell would it be? Right? But yeah, I think Bluetooth tracking would be like an awesome thing. All right, so I'm pretty much done with that. It's probably not as smooth as it could be. And I did go ahead and put graphite lightly in the center there. But I could pick a lot of that up with just my kneaded eraser. I'm not sure that I want it completely picked up, but I could pick it up. So yeah, so I told him, you need to be calling the hearing aid place. So Wednesday, when we go to Joplin, we can get the hearing aid too. I swear, if it's not one thing, it's another. And plus, because these guys are up, that Robert had been up working on the plumbing up in the bathroom, right? And I said, are you sure that you knocked your hearing aid out when you were fighting the wasps? Well, I'm not sure. He'd been up working in the bathroom. Of course, we're down to studs, right? And I said, well, if you knocked it out while you're upstairs, it could be down in the floor. It could be anywhere, right? So we literally took my camera and put it down the walls to make sure that the hearing aid didn't fall down in the walls, because they were going to put the sheetrock up, the shower enclosure today. So it was just like, oh my gosh. It's always something. I know. I know. So that's pretty much how you shade a cylinder. Basically right there. And if I want it darker on this side, I would just add some more graphite, and I'm going to because I want it darker over here. And I'm really just putting this graphite down real light. This is a number 2, so it's pretty soft lead. It's not like a B pencil, but the graphite goes down readily. That's why I like these pencils so much. HB is going to be a little bit harder. It'll still smear, but just a number 2 works pretty darn good if you want to shade like this. And I think just use a number 2 pencil. You know, later on, branch out and test with the other pencils and learn what they can do. But for right now, I think just using a number 2, make yourself draw, is really where you want to be. Okay, now, since I kind of know where I want my lines, I'm going to go ahead and draw that. My bottom is not completely right, so I'll make my correction now. Shade the inside for us. Shade the inside for us. Thank you, Kenny. Shade the inside for us. Well, I did go ahead and put graphite on. I'm going to do the top up here in just a minute. Yeah, I'm doing that next. I love a nice 2 HB. Yeah, a number 2 pencil is, you can't really beat it. So see how you can go back and add a little bit more shading wherever you think you need it, and then just blend it out. But really, a tortillon in this, it will make your job so much easier. And right now, if you're just learning basic shapes and just learn about light and shading. You know, I wouldn't take on the whole ball of wax at once. Get proficient in one thing and feel good about what you can do there, and then move on. Because the next thing you're going to have to consider is, okay, now, is this cylinder, is this like an open can? Because if the light is hitting and this is open, all this back here is going to be light, correct? And then you'll have some shadow from this part of the can over onto it. Or is this a solid cylinder? You know, that's another thing. It could be one or the other. Lee was in Tulsa Saturday night. He drove limo group from Branson to BOK Center for a concert. Oh, wow. That was quite a fair there, Norma. I've been to the BOK Center. It's very nice. Very, very nice. And it's not too bad a part of town that you don't want to be in there at night. Yeah, the BOK Center is very nice. Who was in town that I can't even think what concerts were in town this week? I went and saw Cher there with my brother. Tightening up my line here before I start, because some things you can't go back and correct later. Well, you can. I mean, there's nothing you can't correct later, but okay, Kia, it's an empty can. We ate all the food already. It's an empty can. Let me get a brush out. All right, let's do the shadow on the bottom first. There's something about this is not right. I want to get it right. Yeah, I think that looks better. All right, so let's just imagine that this is on a table like that. And if light is coming, and I need to smooth that out a little bit more, but if the light's coming basically here, I'm just going to say from this direction, okay? The shadow is going to fall, for the most part, back this way. So from the end of that over, that's going to be a very, very dark shadow. But keep in mind, like I told you the other day, you have to look for the reflected light. So on this edge, where it's sitting on the table, you're going to have a lighter section right there where there's reflected light. I don't know how well you can see that. I can see it, and I'll clean it up here in a minute. But keep in mind, the light would bounce off the table back onto your object, and it would go actually on up beyond that. So that's what's going to make things look more real, is if you recognize that there's reflected light, there's cast shadows, and try and get them right. You'll be much happier with your end result, I promise you. I'm going to make this shadow real dark. And this is where I would maybe get a B pencil out. I might have one here. I'll just use this one. Because right up close to the can, there is no light at all, right? Now, if I need graphite anywhere else, that's where I'm going to go pick it up from. Right there. Hi, Mickey. Thank you. Thanks. First try with the pans. Dee Dee's throwing shade. I can't believe that. Doesn't sound like the Dee Dee I know and love. Then I'm going to do this shading out front with, I'm just going to put a little bit dark over here. Make it darker than the can or the cylinder. But not as much, because I'm figuring the light's coming a little bit more from this side than dead on. So usually there's going to be a little bit of a shadow right around the base of virtually everything, I think. And then out from this a little bit. And then Galena, from what that stuff that you showed me, I think what you need to do, and this is a perfect example right here that I'm going to show you, is I missed her comment. I'll go back. I'll check it. You live in Missouri, Mickey. Where in Missouri? I live in the northeast corner of Oklahoma. This is what I'm talking about. Where the shadow is right here, it's going to be pretty much a sharp line. But then it's going to fade out a little bit. So what I would work on is just making that gradual shading from the darkest to the lightest until it fades out until almost nothing, like I did here in the can. And I could keep working on this so that gradation is seamless. I'm not sure that you guys want to watch that, but that, Galena, that's the thing I would tell you to work on, is just work on getting that shading just as gradual. If you have to add more graphite, add more graphite. If you need to pick some up in the lightest areas, go ahead and pick it up. And actually here at the base of the can, I've got it a little darker than I probably would really like it. And over here, I'm just going to try and blend it out to soften up the lines. Well, sometimes you're going to need a sharp line, okay? At the edge of the object, you're obviously going to have a sharp line. But for the shading, no. All shading is going to be very gradual. Just look in nature. You'll be able to see it, you know, when you decide that you can see the light or where the light hits something. You'll see. Sometimes when you may see a shadow that has a real sharp edge would be the shadow that your body throws when the sun is hitting something directly and casting your shadow. That would be so awesome, Norma, if your husband came by and said, Norma sent me. I'd say, come on in. Let's get some coffee. You can tell me all about her. And obviously on this side, I want the shading just a little bit lighter. I'll just smooth that out and get the graphite on. Italian. Thank you, Kenny. So using real life objects is an excuse for me to keep drinking soda. That, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a soda drinker, but yes. I'm going to go ahead and lighten up this little bit of edge here for the light reflecting, because it would actually go all the way up and down. Oops. You feel like such a rookie. Well, the thing is, just, you know, this is not as smooth as I would like. I would sit here and mess with this, and I got too much graphite on here right now, so I've got to wipe it off or I'm really going to goof up. But the more you work it, the smoother you can get it, and just work on it as long as you feel like you need to. All right, let me look at this other one real quick. All right, she wants an open can. And I was going to show you an example of that, but it doesn't. This one actually is showing it as a solid. I will go ahead and do this as if it was an open can as best I can, given my limited abilities. Okay, Galena. But if the sun is coming from this direction, you can just envision how that's going to make the shadow look, right? If it's coming from here, the light is obviously going to be the brightest, say in this area where it's lightest here. And then this is going to cast a shadow on that. So I'll do it real lightly. It really doesn't matter. Just get the graphite down, because I'm going to smooth it out here in a minute. I'll do another one right on top of it as if it was solid too. If you've got a cup of coffee in front of you, do it with your coffee cup right now. It's going to essentially be the same thing. Quiet. Sorry. I am excited to get my new glasses, though. Be back. Okay. You have 50 of these little things and never used one? Mickey, get them out and use them. And then again, this would just gradually peter out, except this one is going to stay pretty much a hard line. That one's not going to gradually peter out. But here, these side ones, they're going to gradually go away. And if you need to pick up some, don't know who was in concert. Lee said Chris something in country and western. He sat there for 3 hours and headed back. Oh, poor guy. I imagine sometimes that's a hard thing to do, is just sit there and wait for people. That's amazing, though, that people would go all the way from Branson, hire a limo all the way from Branson to come over to Tulsa. For real. Nope, not poor. They tipped well. Cool. That's a good thing then. Yeah, I'd want to like buy a ticket and go in. I think I have too much shadow here, so I'm going to take it out. So sometimes, especially like if you're doing it from imagination, because this is just what I'm envisioning, make the alteration. Someone who has lots of money, yeah, no lie. And actually, I have more shadow over here than I think I really even want. Because remember, the light's coming from this edge, so. And that's pretty much how you indicate to your viewer where your light is coming from. They were drinking and didn't want to drive. Now, that's one thing I could really not put up with, honestly. I am not good with drunks. I am really not good with drunks. I promise you. And I think if I wanted to make this even more dramatic, I could make this edge over here even darker and lighten up this edge a little bit. I might go ahead and do that. Here and dink with this thing all day long, really. Eileen would have a fit, and I haven't seen the mailman yet. I can't believe he's late today. That just absolutely, it's always when I'm expecting something that dodo takes a coffee break. Do I put a seal or a fix? I wouldn't on something like this. You know, where I'm just sketching and doing it for the fun of it. If I'm doing it, you know, as a finished piece of art, yes, I probably would put finish on it. But what I would really recommend for you guys is when you're doing something like this, I've got my coffee cup right here. Let me see if I can you guys, you can't see that really. But I mean, if you just look at the light is coming from the back here. Look where your shadow is. It's in here on the inside and then gradually diminishes as it comes this way. Do that in real life. You know, put a light on something that is an everyday object and just look. Where is the light hitting? Where are the shadows falling? I don't think there's anything better than real life for teaching you that. Limos and customers who end up in them. Did Judy Patootie come in? Hi, Judy. And then there's going to be one place right down the center here where I'm going to remove every bit of graphite. And that's going to be where the light is falling directly on it. Okay, if this was a cup and it had a rim or something on it, you might have a place on that rim where you don't see the rim because the light would be hitting it absolutely right there, and then it would blind you from the rim of that. So you can put that in. But the shadow would start right up to it. No, it's the bat symbol light beam coming up through the can. I have a bat symbol. A cylinder. Eileen's going, I've had enough of this for a lifetime. Gotta head out. Okay, Dee Dee, go have a fun day. Now, when I look over at the camera, I can see it needs some evening out, but that's basically your basic cylinder right there. And another thing I would recommend, I started doing this on those sketches that I started doing the other day. I started dating things. So, and I think you should too, so you can kind of get an idea of how you're improving. That shadow is too dark in there. Because most commonly your light is going to be coming from above. Not always, but most commonly it would be. So, oh, no doubt Eileen wanted to see me make a mess. And I'm gonna in just a minute. I really am. All right, and if you could draw this same cylinder with a solid lid. Let's just draw an ellipse. Let's just say we're doing a cylinder with a solid top on it. If the light is coming from here, probably what you'd have is a shadow that would start very dark on this edge. And I'm just doing this really quick just to show you this is open in here. I don't know how I goofed that up. And this is going to be the solid. And I do want just one line back there. Oh, I hate this ruler. There are free rides for intoxicated people everywhere. I would not be those drivers, I promise you, because I don't like drunks. Really don't like drunks. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I always start putting the graphite down at the darkest part and then work to the light. I mean, I suppose you can do it any way you want, but that's the way I do it, is I always do my darkest first and then work to the light. Probably because I use the tortillon. It's just easier that way. Now I think the rest of it I'm going to go ahead and do with the tortillon. Thank you for indulging us with the lid details. You're welcome, Whippy. Okay, look, I'm going to load this up with the graphite by doing that dark area first. That's usually why I do it, so I can load up my tortillon with the graphite first and then start working away. And as you work away from that edge where you are sitting on this edge, right? So it's going to be darkest, closest to you, and it's going to get lighter as it goes away. And I'm trying to talk this out, but after you kind of look at real life objects and see it, pretty soon you don't even have to think about it. You just kind of know. And sometimes I think it's hard to even think about it. It's like, well, why is that? Oops. So that would be more what you'd find in a solid top. Probably a little darker than I would do it on this particular drawing, but that's essentially what you're doing. And I don't think Azure came today. I'll show the cartoons before I end. She might watch the recording. And how I would finish this now is I probably would take my HB. This is the point